Hello and welcome to the Room 3. Yesterday we finished the walkthrough for the Room 2, and today we'll be starting up the walkthrough for the Room 3, the last of the three games in the Room trilogy, not including the Room Old Sins, because unfortunately the Room Old Sins is not on PC. Hopefully one day though. Hopefully that game gets ported to PC one day so I can make a walkthrough for that. But until then, this will be the last Room game that I cover here on the channel. For walkthroughs, I mean, because Room VR Dark Matter is going on with virtual reality. But until then, anyway, Room 3. This game has multiple endings, which is a new addition to the Room series, and I will be showcasing how to get all of those endings once we get to that point. But until then, we're just going to click New Game and proceed through the story as it happens naturally. Alright, so, unlike in previous Room games in which we start off in, you know, a standard room, this time we're starting off in a train. You can see the world going by out the window, and the controls are the same as they always have, and you can click and drag to look around, and you can double click on items to focus on them, click the right mouse button to back out. I can't do that now because I'm in a mandatory tutorial, but we'll be able to do that eventually, and then you can of course drag things like this to open up the journal. July 5th. AS is gone. His entire house is gone. I dare not recount all that I saw. I would rather that I was insane, and that those infernal boxes were but a figment of my fevered mind. I should never have ignored you. If only I had come sooner. If only I had not come at all. July 17th. I have awoken from the nightmare, but am forever haunted by it. I submerge myself in my work as if to drown the memories, but it is no use. The Null calls to me in my sleep and seizes any unoccupied moment to fill my thoughts unbidden. I am marked. July 19th. I have continued to petition the Royal Institute. There is something about their denials that does not sit with me. Their insistence is too shrill and determined to cover something as innocent as ignorance. July 21st. A breakthrough. As the Royal Institute had bereft me once more, an undersecretary with a drawn look slid a packet into my jacket pocket as they passed. They refused to meet my eye as they hurried away. The packet included a page torn from a map of the south coast with an island circled. I leave on the first train. And that brings us up to speed with where we are now, with some little images referencing the previous game, and that's all this journal has to offer. The rest of it is just blank pages, so we can back out, and... yeah, it's not creepy at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, we can double click on the box here to focus on it, and then take the key right up on top here. I have a key, but there's no keyhole in this box. Well, if you've been watching the previous walkthroughs for the two other Room games, you know that the wooden surface looks strange, and that means that I should get the eyepiece from my suitcase. So let's go ahead and do just that. Double click on the suitcase to focus it. You want to drag these two latches out like that, and then flip open the suitcase. Then double click on my suitcase has some modifications. I require a degree of secrecy, so let's double click up here, and then you want to flip this like so, as the scratch marks would indicate, to reveal us another compartment to the suitcase. Then double click right here to retrieve the eyepiece, and now we can use this eyepiece to reveal that sometimes the eyepiece can be used to see things that are otherwise hidden. So now we can remove the eyepiece. I should use my eyepiece to examine the curious box. Yeah, we know. Back over to this box, put on the eyepiece, and we have a puzzle to solve. So this is a pretty straightforward puzzle. All we gotta do is just drag all these pieces in place. Drag this one to the left, drag this one up, drag this one right, this one up, and then this one down. And this is going to reveal to you a keyhole, which we can then drag into the box and then give it a turn. A counterclockwise turn, in fact. And then within the box, you may recognize this from the main menu, an engraved pyramid. What happened? Where am I? Yeah, like I mentioned at the end of the last episode, this game pulls some interesting story beats. But for now, what we're going to do is zoom in right here, and then undo this latch by dragging it to the right, and then watch the show. Well, obviously we want to get in there, but there's kind of a locked door in our way, so let's back out and see if there's anything interesting that we can find in this room. Such as this right here. So if we zoom in and read the note that we're going to find waiting for us up here, let's give it a good old read. You were warned not to look for me, but you would not listen, and it has become necessary for me to find you. Welcome to Greyholm, the seat of my ancestors. Seldom few visitors have walked these halls, fewer still have walked free of them. In the past I have drawn my subjects from the greatest minds of history. Each played their part, but none outlived it. The Null wraps its bonds around all. All except you. It was a mistake to try and keep you away. I see now that I have great need of you if you can prove yourself worthy. Your first task is to find something that will aid you in your trials ahead. Find it or never leave this room, and I will have gone to great effort in vain. Signed, the Craftsman. Well, that's ominous. Now then, if we put on our eyepiece, we're going to see that there are some riddles here waiting for us. The first riddle is the power of flight, the well of knowledge. And you'll also notice that this right here, if we zoom in, can be rotated to a series of different items. And one of these contains the solution to that riddle. And that solution, if you didn't figure it out when I was going through them, is the feather, the power of flight and the well of knowledge. And that you can, like birds have feathers and they flap through the air. Now, it's not the only riddle we gotta solve, so let's go ahead and back out and zoom over here to find the next riddle. The poor have me, the rich need me. The answer to this riddle is literally nothing. There is a slot here that doesn't have any object in it. You want to leave it on that, so let's go ahead and drag it right here. Nothing. The implication being, of course, the poor have nothing, or the poor have nothing, and the rich need nothing. So, that's that riddle solved. Let's head around. Nope. Zoom out a little bit too much there. Let's head around here. My face is silent without my hands. The answer to this one is the pocket watch you're going to find right here. Once you solve all three riddles, a little slot's going to open up on the side of the box. So let's go ahead and read the note that we're going to find inside. It is quite painful to watch how you blunder to and fro, half blinded by those crude lenses you stumbled upon. Allow me to pry the scales from your eyes. These are the instruments of a craftsman. They will allow you to see the universe as it truly is, and reach out into the unseen infinity of space that surrounds us. Signed, the Craftsman. And as is customary at this point in the series, we're going to grab this box, open it up by rotating this like so, flip open the lid, and look at that, we're going to get a new lens for our eyepiece. Let's go ahead and put that in. Now, what does this lens give us the ability to do? Well, if we zoom in on this right here, we'll see. You may recognize. You wouldn't recognize it yet. Later today, you will recognize this same floating crystals in the room via our dark matter. And whenever you see this, it means that you can put on your eyepiece, because the new lens allows you the ability to zoom into whatever tiny space it is those crystals are surrounding and interact with the objects inside of it. So what we want to do here is rotate this right here until this little marking starts to light up with this one. So once these two light up, you can stop. Right here. They've lit up, so now we can stop rotating. Same thing here. You want to wait till they line up and light up. Like so. Once they're all in the line and they have all illuminated, that will be this puzzle solved, and the doorway will open, allowing us to step foot into the other room. Double click on the doorway to go through it. That's going to be very important throughout the rest of this game. And then if we zoom in on the table in the middle, there's going to be another note here that we can read. The key to the Null will be forged here. I have given you the first piece. For safety, the remaining 4 are held separately. Retrieve them and bring them to this font. Only then can you fulfill your destiny. Signed, the Craftsman. Now then, let's go to the center of the table and place this pyramid where it belongs. And we will be given an emblem. Now where does this emblem go? Well, if we zoom out twice and then swing the camera over to the right side of the room, we'll see a whole wall of emblems, and there's only one slot where there is not an emblem for us to place, so let's go ahead and put it right there, and this will reveal 4 other emblems. Now, This is a puzzle we have to solve, because if we zoom in on each of these, that we will see that we can actually, oh dear god, that was a jump in the camera, we can rotate them to form different things. Now, the way you solve this puzzle is, you have to look at this bottom one, and then the one that's up on top, because the way this works, you'll notice, is that the top two combine to make the bottom one. So this one has the red on top and then this yellow line, and this one down here has that in addition to the bird. So what we want to do, oh, and the 2 stars as well, is we want to switch it to this because it's got the bird on the bottom and the 2 stars on top. Same thing with this one. You want to, actually this one is perfectly fine as it is. Oh wait, no it's not, because we need to put the bug there. The bug is not in this one. We gotta find the one that looks exactly like it but with the bug, which is going to be this one right here. And then once you do that, it's going to be 1/2 of this. So let's go to this other place right here. This one's got the snake, and it's got the red background, but it doesn't have the green or the yellow. So let's go ahead and rotate until we find that, and it's going to be this one right here. This one, it has the same color pattern as this one, but it does not have the rats. Let's rotate until we find a rat. We don't need 2 rats, we only need 1 rat, and here we go. Doing that is going to complete the other half of the puzzle. And reveal yet another doorway for us to pass through. And in case you couldn't tell, the scale of this game has been dramatically increased. So let's double click to head on through. Alright, now the first thing we want to do, what is this place? I have to find a way out. Is double click on this wall right over here. Now, we basically have to align these to create a complete circuit from this end to that end. And they give you a little hint down here, but I'm just going to show you what you have to do anyway. So you want to slide this one all the way to the end to link these 2 together. You want to slide this one all the way to the end to link those 2 together. This one all the way to this end, and then this one goes all the way to this end. I said all the way to the end. There we go. There we go. Now you can see we have a complete link all the way to the end right here. Now we can flip, I said now we can flick this switch down. Now all we gotta do is flip these switches up. All 4 needs to be turned on. And then we can push the button right here. And now we have a little machine we can operate right here. Before we do that, we're gonna read this letter. As you have discovered on your little adventures, contained within the Null is the power to transfer matter across space and time. I have watched you cross leagues and centuries just as some lesser individual might cross a street. But what of light years? What of eons? You have barely even begun to tap its potential. I have charted a world not unlike our own, yet incredibly distant. It is the source of the Null. I have measured it, even seen it, but I cannot reach it. Not without your help. But first I must teach you how, and you must prove capable of learning. Signed, the Craftsman. Now, all we gotta do to finish off this chapter is align the green frequency with the black frequency. So first thing we want to do is we want to make this a lot thinner so that it kind of matches up with the general width of the lines in the background. Then this is going to control the height, so once it's kind of matched up. This is more just visual, like you can kind of just eyeball this. There isn't really a precise number of times you can dial it, just got to make sure it lines up, and there we go. Perfect. And this will activate our doorway to the next chapter of the game. Alright, and that will be it for this episode. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all on Tuesday for some more of The Room 3. Goodbye.